Merry Christmas and have a safe day.
Cars full of volunteers lining up outside the Salvation Army building in Hartford Christmas morning, picking up bags packed with meals to distribute to seniors in need.
We are delivering 750 meals today.
That's Migdalia Lavenbean, who is the Greater Hartford Area Services Coordinator of the Salvation Army. The pandemic not stopping her and the rest of this team from hosting this more than 30-year tradition.
I think we have a lot of seniors who are shut-ins and who can't go and visit their families because of the risk of COVID. So I think this year especially, I think is pretty significant for seniors who are receiving this meal.
The meals are being delivered to seniors in Hartford, East Hartford, West Hartford, Bloomfield, Newington, Windsor, and Wethersfield. Volunteers like Brian Malarkey and his family say helping those in need was the best gift they could have given this Christmas morning.
Doing this is because, again, previously being able to serve meals at churches or food pantries and stuff like that, and since that can't happen, so this is the new opportunity for us to help.
This is just incredible when you think about people who could be home on Christmas Day with their families. They've all gotten up early, they've gotten in line, and they come, they tell us how many meals they want to deliver.
Events like this proving that the Christmas spirit is still powerful, even in a year like 2020. The Salvation Army also hosts one of these meal distribution events on Thanksgiving each year. And get this, more than 700 meals were also distributed on Turkey Day this year. Reporting in Hartford, Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61 News.